Does anyone else sometimes suspect they're actually dead? Sometimes I overthink, what if I am in a coma? The thought daunts over me for a while.
While I've never thought I was dead, I have wondered many times if my life was only a construct of my mind and reality. And that everyone else was only my mental reality. I suppose I think everyone else is only living in their own mental construct of their own reality. That's changed and diminished to a large degree when I had children. Some of the most surreal dreams I get are when I wake up, get ready for work, and start driving to work, then get shot back to my bed where I wake up. It makes me think I crashed or something bad happened. I legit have pinched myself before to make sure.
Actually, I'm glad you made this post. I feel my life has gone just a bit, too perfect. Like suspiciously perfect. I live with my significant other, I'm going to school, we aren't on a tight budget. My mother, who was usually distant when I grew up, is helping with my college. I'm successful in every job I've ever taken on. I feel sometimes I was supposed to not have made it one night driving through a major highway. I remember falling asleep many times driving home because I was overworking myself. I feel that I died and now I'm living out some perfect dream world. I mean, it's just suspicious. But I don't fall asleep at the wheel anymore. I'm a very safe driver now. Sounds a lot like Cotard's delusion, but less severe. I look into it. There was a crazy Norwegian musician that went by the name Dead, and he suffered from this hardcore.
I think that's a real thing people experience. I just looked it up, it's called Cotard's delusion. Probably not as severe as that, but still interesting to read about.
Today while I was at work, I was enjoying my day, enjoying the song playing, enjoying the rainy day, enjoying the company around me, my boss thinking how his heart is in a right place, and my dental hygienist co-worker how she's a good soul and brings joy to patients. Then thought to myself, what if I'm living the best little moments while dying, and this was one. I have very vivid memories of my first flight ever. It was dark and there was a crazy amount of turbulence. I was crying and the lights were flickering on and off, and then I don't remember what happened. My family insists this experience never happened and that I never even went on a plane at that age, except I know I did because we definitely got to Puerto Rico somehow. But no one remembers this. I'm still convinced that that plane crashed and I died, and this is some parallel reality.
I think I may have actually killed myself and my 3 best friends when I was in high school. Only through unimaginable luck did I avoid crashing a hatchback car into a huge drainage ditch at highway speed while burning donuts in an overgrown field. I suspect my consciousness exists in both timelines. The one where I died and the one where I got lucky and lived. Here is the story. I should be dead right now. My 3 best friends should have joined me. It was a Saturday evening in August 1993. I borrowed my mom's car and picked up my 3 best friends. One of my buddies heard about a creepy graveyard that he suggested we check out. We drove to the graveyard that had graves dating back to the 1700s. Some of the first settlers in eastern Canada. At the top of the hill, there stood a statue of an angel that had a reputation. It was rumored that if you circle the statue thrice while saying, Mother Mary, a ghost would appear. We tried the ritual and absolutely nothing happened. We checked out some headstones but quickly got bored. What could 4 teenage boys with a full tank of gas and poor decision-making abilities do on this August night? I came up with the idea to burn donuts in a nearby field that had gone to seed years ago. The thick grass stood 6 feet tall. The car that we were driving in was a compact hatchback. Visibility ended about 6 inches in front of the bumper. What could possibly go wrong? We piled into the car and spent 20 minutes plowing grass, yanking the handbrake and drifting sideways. I kept the speed around 70 kilometers per hour. We giggled like sugar-buzzed toddlers the whole time. With no desire to stop abusing my poor mother's car for the next hour, I was suddenly startled by 3 abrupt knocks on the bottom of the car. Not wanting to rip the exhaust off or worse, I stopped the car to look for damage. The grass was so thick that I was forced to shoulder check the driver's door open. I poked my head under the car. I couldn't see any rocks, roots, or any damage. I waded through the thick grass to the rear of the car. Again, no damage or debris found. I was relieved that the exhaust was intact. I had to know what the source of the knocking was though. Walking the tracks left by the car yielded no clues to the source of the knocking. I found no ruts, rocks or logs. Something caused that noise. Maybe something is caught in the radiator? Something in the fan belt? I forced my way through the thick grass to the front of the car. I leaned down to look for something caught in the radiator. The moment I leaned over, my left foot slipped. Suddenly I found myself sliding down a slope. I slid to the bottom of a massive drainage ditch. The ditch was 25 feet across and 12 feet deep. The August sun had baked the clay as hard as concrete. I had stopped the car 12 inches from the edge with zero idea what was in front of me. I was perfectly square to the ditch. Had I not stopped, I would have hit the opposite side of the ditch at 70+ km/h. The trajectory would have been perfectly square and would have been similar to driving into a concrete wall. I should have killed myself and my 3 best friends that night. I never found the source of the 3 knocks.
I frequently experience really strong déjà vu. Whenever I experience it, I jokingly tell myself that I died sometime in the future and so my life resets to a last saved point kind of thing. But, a part of me actually believes it. Yes, it's occurred to me.
Yes, there are days where I experience too many coincidences and it is overwhelming. I suspect sometimes that I have died of an overdose and now I am living out a twisted, vanilla sky scenario. I posted the following in another thread a few weeks back. It's true. And I believe it works well here. I actually had a dream a while back that I died and woke up in a pod. After getting my bearings and realizing that I was out of the game, a blue pop-up window in hologram form materialized in front of me. How did we do? Please give us your feedback. Rate us below. Quote. There were 5 outlines of stars below the text. I pressed the second star and the first 2 symbols filled in solid blue. The window disappeared briefly, followed by another holographic pop-up. Please give us your feedback. Max 500 characters. It read. I typed in, lack of creativity, you could have done better, on the hovering keyboard below the screen. The window disappeared quite suddenly. Everything faded to black. There was a whirring sound. And my head started feeling fuzzy. I woke up in my bed in a panic. And at the time it freaked me out a bit. That was October or November of 2019. I've been increasingly suspicious of this dream ever since. Not dead per se. But I do feel like life is a simulation sometimes and we're all being watched by something sometimes. I don't know what happens when we die despite having suicide attempts because of crippling depression, but I sometimes feel like I'm losing myself and I'll snap awake in some unknown area. This is me constantly. To make it even better, I can actually pinpoint the date, location and the nature of the accident that happened. Never actually been in an accident, but one day while driving I can't remember how I got past a part of the way home. Every time I pass it now I get weird feelings and I can almost swear I fell asleep while driving. And me and my family died. I try to live normally but that weird feeling never goes away. Sometimes I actually dream of the accident and how right before dying a white light comes and the accident never happens and I'm driving right after the part one can't remember. It's like a memory my mind keeps trying to hide from me. This has me thinking quantum immortality might be real. I mean, the rest of us are here, watching you not do that. So maybe that can give you some comfort. We're not figments of your dream. We have our own dreams that never touch yours. You're real. I'm real. And we're all here. Heart. In the sixth sense, ghosts can't interact with people. So I'm sure you'll feel better when you get to hang out with people who listen to you and get you. Ah, guy. I had a near-death experience, and ever since then I wonder if my consciousness changed universes. Everything in my life has completely changed, a total 180 since then. I realize it probably had to do with the fact I was 16 and everything tends to change around then. But still. Maybe you died in a parallel universe and your consciousness shifted to a new one, and your memories of dying are from the other one.
Yes, or what if I'm in a mental institution and my whole life is just severe hallucinations?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.